Hilary Sheinbaum is the author of Going Dry, a workbook. And while dry January may be over, plenty of people are carrying that over into February and even beyond. And coming off of Valentine's Day, of course, Hilary is joining us now with some tips on how to date without the alcohol. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
So, first off, why do you think that people should date without alcohol?
Yeah, so I think there are a ton of benefits to dating without alcohol, including there's no beer goggles. So, what you see is what you get. You're getting to know that person on a deeper level. There's nothing interfering with that. And instead of, going to a bar and simply sitting and interviewing somebody, on a date, you can go and do an activity that you really care about and that you love and showcase what you enjoy. And same for that person. They can kind of bring you into their world and really show you what, activities they like to do in their spare time.
So then what kind of dates do you suggest for people to go on that doesn't have booze included?
Yeah, there are so many different dates that people can embark on. You can go to a museum, you can take, an art lesson, you can certainly go to a fitness class. And I think that even, when you get to know somebody and you go on vacation, there are amazing hotels and resorts that actually have non-alcoholic options, including, the JW Marriott in Marco Island in Florida or the Four Seasons in Jackson Hole. And there's really just a lot to explore and do instead of, sitting by a pool and sipping cocktails.
Why do you think that alcohol is so prevalent in dating culture, especially since we've been seeing a decline in alcohol sales?
Yeah, so many people are becoming sober curious or lessening their alcohol consumption, but Valentine's Day is really about, being romantic, and a lot of that marketing has to do with wining and dining, and the key word there is wine. So it has a lot to do with alcohol and just the way that I think we've been trained to think about, romantic endeavors. When people go on dates, they don't say, "Do you want to go on a date?" They say, "Let's grab a drink." So I think that Valentine's Day and dating in general really has strong ties to alcohol.
So can you tell us a little bit more about your new book?
Yeah. So back in the day, actually 9 years ago, I made a silly bet with a friend, which what is what inspired my dry Januaries for the last 9 years and my first book called The Dry Challenge. And while that wasn't necessarily a prescriptive, way to explain to people how to go dry for a month, this workbook really puts it in the hands of the reader. And so they are able to take charge and really chart their successes and maybe even a bit of their failures, and really kind of jot down how they're feeling and really how they're doing, and really process it as they move through going dry.
So before we let you go, if there's someone out there right now who's considering going dry, what would you say to them?
Oh, wow. There are so many tips that I have. I think one of them is definitely recruit a friend because there's strength in numbers. You don't necessarily have to make a bet like I did, but it can be a benefit to you if that's what motivates you. I also think that this is a wonderful time to try those non-alcoholic options. Now they're available online and certainly in many bars and restaurants, and those include, Freshenet sparkling wine, which is an alcohol removed product. And there's also Olipop, which you can make cocktails with, but spirits like Fluere and Free Spirits, where you can mix and model things like gin and tequila at home in your favorite non-alcoholic cocktails. So there's a lot.
Thank you so much, Hilary.
Yeah, thank you again for having me. This was so fun.
That does it for another episode of Lifestyle Today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And be sure to head to our website, lifestyletodayShow.com, and our YouTube channel for all the latest on LT. We'll see you guys in March.
The proceeding was sponsored by Lifestyle Today Show.